Despacito 2 is now the official theme song of Fortnite. Breaking news: suicide rate drops to 0%. Suicide is now illegal. It really do be like that sometimes. Suicide rate drops to 0%. The end of Logan Paul vlogs. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Why is suicide still a thing? Nibu, I would have wanted you to live your fullest and best life. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Africans, if you're starving, just buy food, nibble now. Breaking news: Africa's starvation rate drops to 0%. Why do people die from suicide like just don't kill yourself? Black Bill Nye. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Breaking news: school shooting rate drops to 0%. Despacito 2 is now the official anthem of Russia. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Asteroid hits Earth, all life forms goes extinct. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Somebody twice told me for Shrek 5. Suicide rate drops to 0%. We live in a society. Suicide rate jumps to 100%. Suicide rate drops to 0%. When you die, your voice gets added to the Big Bang Theory laugh track. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Despacito 2 coming this fall. Suicide rate drops to 0%. People who attempt suicide will now revive death penalty. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Yeet 2 announced for 2019. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Memes are illegal, fam squad, now pay. Self-worth rate drops to 0%. New Fortnite emote, T-pose. Suicide rate drops to 0%. If roughly 700,000 people die each year in hospitals, why don't we just close all the hospitals so nobody dies? Death rate drops to 0%. Despacito 2 will be delayed. Suicide rate jumps to 100%. Mum's Spaghetti 2 announced, Mom's Spaghetti 2 will be the greatest song of all time. Donald Trump. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Breaking news: Facebook 2 will have Battle Royale. Shit nibble, we need better Wi-Fi in the Vatican. Pope Francis. Suicide rate drops to 0%. It's Everyday Bro 2 confirmed. Suicide rate rises to 100%. Lost 2 released. You know I had to. It's 2M, says Tim Buckley. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Suicide is now illegal. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Fortnite, the TV show, will premiere on August the 12th, 2019. Suicide rate jumps to 100%. Shrek 5 arrives in 2019. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Minecraft 2, coming 2019. Suicide rate drops to 0%. Bonus meme is back. Suicide rate drops to 0%.